till I close this. Everything's bright again.
Thank you.
Yeah, so...
Okay.
Sorry if certain parts were hard to hear. Anyway.
Yeah.
So that was part 2 of the Equestria Girls movie parody, Horsewomen, yes. And we definitely wanted to try to do something a little more interesting than just doing footage from the movie. So we're trying to figure out ways to incorporate other episodes. So
where they're in Ponyland.
We had some ideas, so there's some foreshadowing of some stuff with Discord at the beginning there, and then...
and now there's Rainbow Rocks, so we can use that.
I love Rainbow Rocks that came out, yeah.
We might end up just ditching Equestria Girls, and
just
the rest
becomes the
might
Rainbow
just be Rainbow Rocks,
Yeah.
because that's a great film. But we've got a little more Equestria Girls to use.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's a shame that
Yeah.
that long line had to get turned away. I always feel bad when people wait in lines.
Yeah, it'll be on YouTube, but probably
anyway,
not for a
yeah.
week.
So normally at this point we just do like
people just
Q&A
ask questions
stuff,
and
that's it. I mean,
that's all.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So I guess if people want to ask questions or whatever,
just
you
ask
can
them really loudly.
raise
you don't
your
have to like
hand.
get up or whatever, but
yeah, raise your hand.
Be really
We'll move
loud.
from left to right. So we got a question here.
Okay.
Hi.
Okay, how do we think of it?
Yes, so about 4 years ago, man, a long time ago, 2011, I think it was the summer of 2011, and we were just in a car. I think we were sitting in our car and talking about the Pony Show. We were both big fans, and then it was like, we just started, I think Jenny just started doing the voices, and she could do the Rarity voice pretty well, and it was like, okay, try the other voices, and she could do like all of them pretty well, so it was like, okay, we should just make a parody series, right?
Yeah, because we've done parodies of stuff before. Like in high school, we would always like do movie parodies, just like scripts that we didn't do anything with for fun. So,
yeah. We're always writing. I mean, a lot of times we just write to the void. Like I've written so many little things, but it's like a lot of them are like live action things, and it's like obviously don't have a camera or actors with me, right? So we just write comedy stuff all the time, and then finally it was like, here's an opportunity to like make it. So
because the abridged series format is pretty accessible.
It's pretty nice, yeah.
It's pretty easy to actually
The story isn't that exciting as how it got made. It really, we just
were like, that would be fun.
and then we just did it. Yeah, it's kind of anticlimactic, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey.
One of the things that really sets your series apart is just the quality of the music you put into it. So what kind of experience do you have doing that, and how's the work split amongst like lyrics and composing and stuff?
Well, Griffin composes, and then we both do the lyrics, is usually how it happens.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Compose, I mean, it's always interesting because it's been different for every episode, right? Like Pinky's Brew was one of the songs that I think really, we always like doing songs, right? And I think we did the sleep song in episode 2, and like that was a lot of fun. And then we did the orphanage song in number 3, and
it was
like
just really
that
brief.
was fun. But then the 4th one was like Pinky's Brew. It was like it felt more like a full song to some extent. So we definitely wanted to do that extended version. But yeah, in terms of like composition or how they're written, it's really strange. Like, I mean, I remember being in the shower and like the melody of the Gypsy Bard like came into my head. I mean, it really is, that sounds cliche, but like that is how it happens sometimes. So then it's like you go to the piano and you're like, okay, that melody I heard in my head, now I have to find it. Like it's like a problem solving thing. And then for a long, I looked at the footage of Pinky singing, and I like was playing the song in my head, and I was just like, oh, this isn't gonna work. So then I like took the Gypsy Bard and I like put it aside, and I was like spent like 2 months trying to think of a different song to use in that spot, because I just thought that song wouldn't fit with her lip flaps. And then I don't know why, it was like just a revelation. It was like, oh, I can just change the tempo of the song, like the beats per minute, and now it fits. It was like, oh, okay, so then we'll use that after all. And like, yeah. So, and lyrically, we both just come up with the lyrics.
Yeah, like Pinky's Brew, we made a list of like time puns and food puns.
Oh
like
yeah, that doc, it's
9.
just like food puns, and then there's like
and pretty much we were pretty
Mad-libbing
good about every line was like food pun, then kitchen pun, and then maybe like half a line about saving parents. So it was like, it's a really compact song.
It's a weird song.
And you have to establish a lot in it, but yeah, it was fun.
Question?
Hopefully much sooner.
Probably
than
much.
that.
Yeah, this was a.
Now that we got the ball rolling again, you know, what slowed us down was we both got like new jobs.
Yeah, we moved from where we live. We lived in the East Bay. We actually lived right here,
like
very
40
close
minutes
by.
from here. Yeah.
And then we both moved to Los Angeles for different reasons. and I've been just busy. We've both been busy with work, but now I have a lot of free time. So now it's like I want to get back into, putting out content on YouTube. So hopefully a lot sooner than a whole year. That I feel bad about that. Yes.
Question for both of you. For each of you, what are your top 3 favorite jokes within the Friendship is Witchcraft series?
Oh, the whole thing?
The whole thing. Well,
that's hard.
Well, I'll say. Let me just think about this episode, because there were some jokes I liked, and it's like we have an interesting sense of humor. It doesn't always jive with everyone. Like, it's just everyone has different comedy styles. Like, for me, what we liked is, like, for example, in the script, it was like a lion's tail, a lion paw, blah, 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 right? And we were like, okay, what can we think of something funny for that, like, to replace that with, right? And so then what pops in the head is like, okay, it'd be funny if it was like vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, and then instead of saying like, oh, you're all right, right? Because remember Shirley's original line was like, you're all right, but this time it's like, it's all right because thanks to Neapolitan ice cream, right? And like that joke really only works though if you know the original, know the original lines, right? But a lot of people don't know the original lines, and so that's always something like we're kind of wary of or afraid of. But I mean, for that one line, I was just so tickled with it. It was like, we got to keep this Neapolitan ice cream line in because it's so silly. But favorite lines in all of Friendship is Witchcraft.
It's really tough.
I would say, I love when Rainbow Dash in episode 3 says, "Do you think spiders can dream?" I think that's a great one.
I love also in that episode when she says like, "I have a great relationship with my parents because they love me," and then Fluttershy's like, "Oh, well, that didn't make me feel better."
That was great. Okay. Man, they're so. It's like this. All the jokes are. But who asked the question? You asked the question. What's your favorite joke?
Yeah.
I actually haven't seen too much of it. I just got into it.
Mm-hmm.
I've only seen the first episode and a little bit of the other so far.
Okay.
I kind of like this one where like Sweetbot was saying she'll get everyone to fear her, and then Rarity just like whatever.
Yeah, that was. When they're like. She makes some joke about falling down the stairs like a slinky, and then later she falls down the steps and you actually hear a slinky noise. Like, that was a lot of fun. Lots of little audio. I mean, there's so many little gags. I don't know. It's kind of like one of those things. It's like I've been thinking more about the show 30 Rock because I've been watching that Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt show, which is like the same humor style. And I just like how they have so many jokes, but they never draw any attention to the fact that they're jokes. They just blow through. I don't know if anyone's seen that show. But I think it's an interesting style, and I see some similarities with what we do, where there's just like there's a lot of jokes, and some of them are like very obviously funny, but then some of them are like
you just say it and move
funny
on.
On your like third watch, you were like finally clicks like, oh, I get it. That was like really incredibly stupid, like that line or whatever.
Are you planning to ever expand on Pinky being gypsy, or just kind of leaving it at that?
It depends on our Pinky footage. A big degree. She usually has a lot of scenes where she has like one line. Like she'll just say one quirky line and then not so much of it. But we do have like, we had our headcanon about where it was going.
Yeah, we had some headcanon, but unfortunately with what we do, so much is relying on like what episode we're parodying, and like what are the shots of Pinky? How is she flapping her lips?
And is she happy all the time? Does she look like melancholy?
And that was actually one of probably in hindsight one of our biggest regrets maybe was like, for example, we made Fluttershy evil, right? But not quite evil in the typical way it's done, but she's like
she's still part of the friend group, but she's
outside
of her friendship.
She has evil. A cult and all that stuff. But then like we wanted to make her darker and more evil, but a lot of the times in like just the episodes we've parodied,
she's like too physically meek. Like,
she's physically meek, and so it's like hard to work with the character we wanted to. I mean, that's what kind of sucks about this is it's like we can't create our own footage. Like I would love to explore all these characters' backstories and stuff, but it's like. But at the same time, it's more charming if it always sticks rigidly to the idea that it's only going to use the original show.
Yeah, like, I mean, it would be a different format, like different constraints. If we were animating it, it almost wouldn't be as clever.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yes?
Do you think it's funny that throughout your Friendship is Witchcraft shows, you've mentioned Smooze, and now in season 5, they're going to put Smooze in it?
Spoilers?
I would say that's probably our least prediction-y prediction, just because, like, when we put in Smooze, because I'm a big G1 fan, So like when we needed like an evil thing for her to be like in leagues with, I was like, it can just be named Smooze and it'll be Smooze, and that'll be the joke, is people who have seen G1 will know that that's like the purple slime monster. And I was kind of thinking like, wouldn't it be cool if all the bronies like knew who Smooze was and thought he was cool, and then maybe they'd bring back Smooze. So it was like this weird like pipe dream. So I'm not saying that's what happened. I don't think the bronies led to Smooze coming back, but it's almost just like, since it was an existing property in the franchise, I don't know, it's less of a prediction and more of like a, oh yeah, that'd be cool if that happened, and not too far-fetched, and then it just did. So
but yeah,
I'm more blown away by like
Twilight having a brother. That was the most crazy
right
thing
after
for
we had
us.
the joke, and then Pinkie Pie obviously dressing up as the fortune teller.
Yeah, that was
in that
nuts
one episode.
too.
And people have made lists for us before. I don't remember some other ones.
It's kind
some
of
other weird
kind of freaky,
predictions.
but I think the brother thing
Yeah.
was so crazy because we literally had a bunch of lines written, and
yeah,
a lot of
we picked that one
we had
randomly.
a ton,
we had a lot of
we had
other
a ton
ones.
of lines written and recorded, and we literally were like, okay, what should Twilight be saying? And we were like, tried different ones, and finally,
like for her letter.
Finally, we were just like, oh, well, let's just say that she was at the brother bash.
Yeah, like we thought it'd be a funny joke if, you know, she wasn't there for the entire moral of the episode, which makes the real episode not make sense,
Yeah,
that she's writing a
that
letter
was
about a
funny.
thing she didn't see. So we were like, oh, it'd be funny if she had the same adventure just off screen. Like her lesson was exactly the same, even though she wasn't here the whole time, but with her brother. So.
Right, but yeah, so we like randomly chose that line, and we could have easily chosen a different line, and then she actually ended up having a brother, and it was like, that's the most crazy out of left field thing that could have ever happened. So yeah, but the Smooze thing, I agree. It's almost like we'd feel really cool about the Smooze, but it is like a G1 property, so it's almost like they brought
Like,
back
we didn't
Tyrek.
invent it,
They brought
yeah.
back Tyrek. They brought back Smooze, but yeah, it's awesome to see Smooze in it. Like,
'Cause I love Smooze.
I don't know if we're gonna be able to, like, knowing our sense of humor, we'd make it so that Smooze character was named Carl and had nothing to
Yeah,
do
like it wasn't
had
Lord
nothing to
Smooze.
do with Fluttershy's prophecy.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how we are. I see a hand there.
Has friendship is Witchcraft become maybe like more than just a period series to you? And are there any like big artistic or just like other kind of statements that you're trying to make through the series?
I don't know about statements. I think definitely when people say it's not an abridged series, that's not like it's better than an abridged series. It's just like, oh, well, it doesn't really fit the formula.
Yeah.
And we're not necessarily trying to fit the formula.
Right.
But
Like-
it is kind of, you know, based around like
Yeah.
you're obviously inspired by existing ones like Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged and
Yeah,
stuff like
Yu-Gi-Oh!
that. That we've
Abridged
seen.
and
They
the-
invented the format. We just kind of took it and ran with it.
Yeah, we basically, to answer your question, I mean, I don't know if we're making any statements per se, but we are trying to stay true to ourselves, like artistically. You know, I know a lot of times we could maybe, if we wanted to go for like lowest common denominator style jokes, and maybe some people think that we do go for those kind of jokes when they watch our videos, but in our opinion, we just stick to what we think is funny, and we hope that other people think what we think is funny, and if they don't, then it's just like, you know, we're not going to change our video. We're just going to make these videos the way we want to make them and hope people
Because they're
like
free
them.
internet videos.
Yeah. I mean,
like we're not like depending on ratings. So.
Right. Yeah.
Anything beyond just the humor that you're going for?
I mean, if you're asking if we're trying to say anything
Like political statements?
I think you're saying it's like, do we have some drama going on? Is there some emotional thing we're trying to say? And I say yes. In like the Sister Hoof social episode, for example, yes, we were trying to have a real emotional moment as sort of like a weird anchor in that episode. Like it felt like it needed that. But in some of the other episodes, no, it's just random funny jokes and there's no deeper emotional statement. Yeah. Question there, a guy in the Wonderbolt shirt?
What made you decide to make Sweetie Belle a robot?
Well, the joke was mainly like at the time she didn't really have like a personality, so it was almost like she was just like
Yeah.
robot pony, like
We have-
third component in group.
You have to
So-
time travel to the year 2011. A lot of people maybe were not even in this fandom
Yeah.
in the year 2011, but when the CMC were introduced, they were widely hated. Everyone hated the CMC because they just took screen time away from the main six. And at the time, even Sweetie Belle wasn't established as right. Like right now, I think she's the best of the CMC, but at the time, she was the third wheel. Or that was the idea. It was like Apple Bloom's the leader, Scootaloo's the tomboy, and then Sweetie Belle does nothing. That was what it was perceived fandom-wise at the time. So it was like, what do we do with Sweetie Belle? Oh, it'd be funny if she was just a robot and just spoke mechanically. And that was really it. I mean, it seems like a dumb, like, that's it.
Yeah, and it was kind of to make her like quirky and endearing because people didn't really like her.
And that was before like the Sisterhood social episode aired, right? So when that episode aired, it was like, oh, well, maybe we could turn her robot thing into a more fleshed out character. But at the time, it really was just a stupid joke.
Like it was going to be a background joke
Yeah.
every time she was there.
Yes.
I'm a little curious about what your writing process is like, because some of the like dialogue sequences are so dense with just callbacks, like little
Yeah.
sentences. So I'm just curious if like if that just comes organically and easy, you have, like a show Bible.
Yeah, so we don't exactly have a show Bible. We just kind of try to keep track of things, and
Yeah.
sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes we actually do forget things, and or remember it. But the writing process, basically, what we do is we find usually someone writes out a whole transcript of
Like
the
the
episode.
MLP wiki has like full episode
Episodes.
transcripts.
So
of
we
everything.
edit, copy, edit, paste, and then next to every line we put like a little caret of some kind, and then we basically sometimes we like count the syllables. It's like, okay, this line had about 10 syllables. So we have about either between 9 or 11 syllables, because we can fudge it with the lip flaps, right? It's like we have to have a line that's between 9 and 11 syllables, and we have to try to make it work, right? So that's the writing process. Basically, it's a huge doc, and we're basically slowly going through it, and it almost feels like, okay, we're 50% complete because 50% of the lines are now filled, and now, okay, we're 70% complete because 70 lines are filled. And we write all out of order. We do not write chronologically, and usually we just, whenever we see a gag, we include it, and we just gag, all scattered all around. And then as we go, it's like, okay, we have to make these gags connect. We have to tell a story with this. It almost does come like gags first, story set. It is a web. It is a web, and sometimes it's tragic because we really like a joke, but we have to get rid of it because it's going to ruin the flow or whatever. And sometimes it's nice because we'll like look. We maybe really want to do a joke, right? And we'll look at the footage, and I might make a little note that says loopable, because like if the background is perfectly static and the lips are flapping up and down, you can loop that indefinitely. So sometimes we get like a freebie where it's like, this line can be any amount of syllables we want. But yeah, in general, we just try to think of jokes, and it does happen organically. We usually just watch the episodes and
just have a few ideas right at the beginning.
And they just...
And like he did say, like we have 50% of the lines done, so we're like, oh, we're halfway done, and that is how we look at it pretty much every time. But unfortunately, like the first 50% you're just kind of riffing, like, oh, here are my funny ideas, and then the second half you're like, now we have to say what's happening in this scene in maybe 3 lines. So the rest, like the last quarter of it, takes so much longer than just the first portion. So
right, it really does feel like what we're doing is like riff tracks, like almost like riff tracks of this episode. And then we write down everything we thought of, and then we try to like do it. But then sometimes, it doesn't work out. The hardest part is those last 10 lines where you've got this 90% done script, and it's like, okay, wait a second. We have to go from here to here, and we have like Twilight
like 2
has
lines.
1 line, and we have to somehow connect these ideas. And then it's like, maybe we have to do some rewriting or something like that. Yeah. Let's go someone over here. Hi. Yes, you raised your hand there.
Oh gosh, should it be secret in case we get to do it, or?
I don't even know what the,
because we like hinted at it, is like we kind of made Fluttershy like a Frollo character. And we had the joke that like Pinkie Pie's the gypsy and she hates her. So we were gonna kind of have like Fluttershy is also like sort of in love with Pinkie Pie. And it's like this weird hatred tension thing.
Yeah, like
so it's
she
like
needs to burn.
She like hates being around her because it's like, oh, and she had that thing about the soft voluminous hair that she has and stuff. So that would be fun to work in more of that.
Yeah, it's the problem, the nature of it though, because like we were like, okay, Fluttershy's gonna be Frollo and Pinkie Pie's gonna be doing stuff with their parents and blah blah blah. It's gonna all be happening, and we're writing it, and then it was like, okay, we got to parody an episode from season 3 now because season 3 is like relevant, and then it's like, none of these episodes have footage that complements our ideas at all. And then like we were like, oh, season 4 is gonna come out. Well, season 4 will at least have 1 episode that will complement like what we're trying to do. It didn't. So, I mean, that's kind of, we've learned a hard lesson with this, which is that almost like be careful with what kind of things you establish and what things you kind of want to have callbacks to, because it might not come to fruition, But this is an extremely rare format, so I don't know. But yeah.
Twilight plushie has had her hand up for a while.
Besides the very famous Gypsy Bard and Phoebe, what are your 2 favorite songs that you've made?
In the Friendship is Witchcraft or in general?
Yeah, but besides the 2.
The 2 most popular ones. Okay. I mean, I guess I'd say the third most popular one, "It'll Be Okay," was a very fun song to write and create.
Yeah.
I mean, I also love "Princess of the Night." I think that's a fantastic. I mean, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but like I do like the composition of things and like the chord progressions, and I get really into like chord progression theory, and like that song has an extended version with lots of cool chord changes, but that never got released. But in my mind, it's like I like that.
Yeah, I would say, like, even if we're not ruling out the Pinky ones, I would say probably "It'll Be Okay." I think it's fun. Like, I really loved, maybe we're not supposed to count that, but I loved the animation we had, like, that our friends made to, like, kind of put together for the music video. So I thought the total package was really fun. I know, like, that's not a fan favorite because it's creepy.
I think it's a fan favorite.
I don't know. I like the fact that it's funny lyrics. Yeah, they're not related, so it's not a big deal. He's adopted.
You've got your hand up, it seems.
Do you hold off on watching the episodes for the first time until you're like ready to make a parody of it?
No. I watch them like the morning they come
Yeah,
out.
we watch them every Saturday
Yeah.
like everyone else, and
I'm too excited. I
riff
couldn't
on
hold
it.
off.
Yeah, we try to think of jokes in the moment, and maybe hold them.
Yeah.
Nick, you got a question?
Yes, there will be more Kimmy Sparkle reviews. Yeah, at least I plan on it. You know, it always depends on
Guy
my
in the
time
red,
and stuff.
So I know you spent like a crazy amount of time on these, and you know you haven't worked on it as much because you've been busy with work, obviously. But was there ever a point because of whether it be like a production problem where you just like couldn't think of ideas that you were like really discouraged from your project?
Just you mean like having writer's block in general? Like, yeah, I mean,
I'd say this newest episode, like a lot of it was just hiatus time. It wasn't like we were working on it constantly. We hit some snags.
Yeah, this episode is actually extremely strange because that part at the beginning with Discord was actually written and recorded.
That was a short
about
from like 2 years.
2 years ago.
I was like junior year of college.
Remember we made
Yeah.
those shorts? We made like Spike's Big Day, and I think we made a second short. What was the second short?
Second short.
Oh, it was the moon one, the one with the moon
yeah.
waving. Well, we made a third short with Discord right when it came out, but we like held off on it for some reason.
We didn't
I
like it
can't
on its own.
Remember. But
We
then
didn't-
we
we
later
thought it
brought
was
it
too
back,
short.
and we thought, we were like, oh man, we should bring it back for this part. So that was fun. Yeah, I would say with this Equestria Girls script, we were really looking forward to parodying Equestria Girls. We were like, yes. Once again, we were like, yes,
Yeah.
we're so pumped for this. And then we started looking at the footage and the lines as written, and it's like, Rarity only has like 3 lines in this movie. It's like we had all these ideas. So it's like, oh, and Rarity will be like this. But then it's like we look at the script and it's like, oh, she only has 3 lines of dialogue. And it's like, same thing goes for Applejack. Same thing goes for
Yeah.
all of them. So it's like, it sucks because it's like we have all these ideas, but we're slaves to whatever the footage is and the script is. But yeah, in terms of writer's block, yes. I mean, we've both suffered it for sure. And on Friendship's Witchcraft, I'd say, yeah. I mean, if there's a long pause between 2 episodes, writer's block might be an explanation for why, or
It's
just
usually
we're
the reason,
busy.
or just time. This
Yeah.
guy over on the wall, like we have to pay attention to the right hand side.
Part of the, again, with the writing process, were there episodes you guys just passed on?
That happens a lot. Yeah, there are a
Oh,
lot of
yeah.
episodes where just like, oh, it won't work. What's an example?
One of the ones we wanted to do really badly was the one where Rarity goes to the Cantor lot and sees
right,
Fancy
Sweet
Pants.
and Elite. Yeah.
Yeah, Sweet and Elite. We were gonna do it that she's going to HatCon, the world's largest
Yeah.
giant hat convention.
And it was like this vibe where Fancy Pants, it seemed like Rarity was like in a romance novel and she didn't realize it. Like she's just like, Fancy Pants is so nice. He takes me to all these cool places. He's such a good friend. And it was like kind of weird because it seemed like he was like a romance novel hero, like a billionaire, just like come on my yacht, Rarity. And she's like, thank you.
It's
and
like
just,
50 Shades
so,
of Grey.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we weren't gonna
exactly.
make it like friend zone episode or whatever because that would be stupid. But just kind of play
That
off
was
of
the
that
funny-
as his character, where he's just like the
Yes.
ultimate like romance Harlequin novel hunk, and she's just like, oh, he's a cool guy. That was nice of him. Just
right,
super
not
oblivious to it.
not lusting after him exactly.
Yeah.
Someone's Twilight with their hand up. Oh. You know, I did enjoy making those, but I did have to collaborate with people, and it did take some time, and maybe. There's one that's literally made, like fully made. It's an instrumental song, and this guy made it, and he just never put it out. He's welcome. I've messaged him and said, hey, if you want to put that song out, you can put it out anytime you want, but he says he's not happy with it, so yeah. I got a hand there. I'm pointing at a hand. Yes, that person who just kind of put it down. No, the person in front of you,
Twilight.
the one with the Twilight horn.
Twilight.
Yeah.
In one of your series, will you ever make like someone getting married or something? Or the wedding?
Oh.
Well,
Didn't we
Twilight's
do that?
married to her brother.
That's a weird question. Didn't we do that?
Yeah.
But like a wedding? I mean, is there a wedding episode in My Little Pony? The one that we did, right? Okay. Sorry. I mean, I would love to have characters get married, but if there's no much footage of it, we can't do it, right? Oh, over here. Sorry.
Okay, so I was wondering if you're going to keep any separate from Friendship Witchcraft on the series, or just, I don't know, how do you
Yeah, no, she's gonna stay separate. A lot of people say like review Friendship is Witchcraft and stuff, but it's like there are kind of only two ways you can go with that, where it's like either she hates it, and then everyone will be like, she's making fun of the haters. She's so like butthurt about it. Or she'll like love it, and they'll be like, well, that was weird. She just made a video about liking her own videos. So I guess it could be funny if she liked it for really dorky reasons. If she was just like, I love the memes and stuff like that. But my headcanon is that she hasn't seen or heard of Friendship is Witchcraft. And she's just totally laissez-faire about it. So.
Someone here.
So Flip Philosophy kind of did a similar thing. You guys and had issued a cease and desist from Hasbro.
Right.
Have you guys got any legal issues with Hasbro or Dole?
We got a cease and desist from. Well, we didn't.
Well, we
get a
didn't. I would
cease and
imagine he
desist.
didn't either.
You mean
happened
YouTube? YouTube
Yeah.
basically took them
YouTube,
down.
Hasbro uploaded all their content to the Content ID system, which basically is just a robot that figures out if you're using their footage or even stills from their episodes and flags it and takes it down. And they changed their policy after that. So
Yeah, they have
now
a-
what happens is you upload it, it stays up, and Hasbro just gets the monetization from the video.
Yeah.
So now we can upload
So
them
now
again.
it's nice.
Yeah.
Before there was a time we were very scared. It was like, okay, this is the end of it because
Mm-hmm.
they're just never going to allow us to have these videos on. It was very sad seeing these videos with lots of views get taken down.
Yeah.
But they've all been re-uploaded by someone named Mysterious Brony 2.
And we
all
have
of the
playlist on our channel to find.
and like all of his videos, all of the episodes have like 1 million views, and I had no idea. I was like, oh, yeah. But it is a shame not having like a channel with those videos on them. Like we kind of missed that. We got our whole channel. Like we moved channel. You're bringing back bad memories right now.
But yeah, I think the answer is like a cease and desist is more formal, where like if any of us did get those, we would have to straight up stop making the whole thing. But that would like imply more involvement, and the company, as far as we know, just isn't aware of us, which is how we like it.
Yeah.
So.
We don't want them to know. Someone in the way back there.
Have you ever had any like legal issues that you had to deal with in making this?
No, which is
pretty
great.
much.
Yeah, no.
This is good. Yeah, guy with the glasses.
Okay, have you ever had any flashback from one of your jokes?
Any what now?
Like flashback, like someone
Flashbacks? Lashbacks.
Flashbacks.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. I mean, there have been some lashbacks. Some.
Well, we had a whole video that we took down because we decided it wasn't.
Yeah,
It was
we-
in poor taste.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
it's still out there.
We
but
have
just took it
we have
down.
an interesting sense of humor, and I know for some people it can come off as maybe mean-spirited in some way. So we did get it back. We had one video, and people were like, "Oh, we don't like this," so we took it down. But what? It was a bullying video.
It was, yeah.
And
it was basically making fun of PSAs, but the fact that we just arbitrarily chose bullying as the topic made
Yeah.
it very sensitive for some people.
Right.
So
Like,
we just took it down. We didn't want to upset people.
We really
so.
wanted to do something where at the end of at the end of an episode,
Yeah.
it's like, cuts to a fireplace, and we're there, and we're like, hello, we learned a very special lesson today, blah, blah, blah. Like,
Yeah.
we love the after school special, the dorkiness of that, when we really wanted to do it, and then it sort of turned into a really long video, so we wanted to upload it separately.
Yeah, it was originally going to be at the end of the BABSCon episode.
Right, because BABSCon was about bullying, so it was going to be like, hey, now what have we learned? But then that long episode became long, and then that became long, and anyway, we took it down, so.
Yeah.
That's the-
someone else uploaded it, so and
Yeah.
we don't care. Like they're welcome to.
Someone
but we
there,
just
yes, you.
didn't want it out.
There's a certain game that they're selling here, and it's very good mention that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool.
With your Twilight Friendship with Witchcraft.
Yeah, that's so cool. I mean,
Twilight's secret ship holder.
yeah.
Yeah, Twilight Sparkle's secret shipfig folder.
It's awesome.
I love it. I haven't played it yet, but we went by their table and they gave us like all the cards, so I'm really excited. And it's really cute. We were reading some of the little like fake fanfic excerpts on
We're-
the bottom of the cards.
We were really
and
into
they're
it. I mean,
funny.
we love stuff like that. And I know they
Yeah.
made like a Cards Against Humanity thing and also had
Oh,
a
yeah.
Friendship is Witchcraft. I mean, it is cool thinking like, okay, you know, this content we're making is leaving an impression on the fandom. And like, this just
Yeah, like it's fanon.
a cool...
She's a creepy fanfic
It's a fanon.
writer.
Yeah, exactly. It's really fun. Oh,
Yeah.
someone right here. Yeah. Yeah.
Why witchcraft?
I think that was one of our first ideas when we were going to make it, is I was just like, oh yeah, it'd be funny if instead of magic, it was witchcraft. Because that is like, it's almost the same title, but the word witchcraft makes you go
Right.
like, well, that's kind of wrong for a kid's show.
Yeah,
And that's kind
I
of
mean-
the whole series is where you watch it and go like, oh, it's a kid's show. Wait, but things are kind of wrong. Slightly
That was
off.
at least the kind of the idea. It was be like one of those creepy things. Maybe it's like 3 a.m. and you're watching Cartoon Network and it's like Boomerang or whatever's on, and then like this thing comes on and you're like, oh, this seems like a normal show. But then you're like it's got the production values. It has the sensibilities of a children's
And like
show.
all the characters kind of talk like bland, like "Hi everybody," like they all sound kind of happy and dumb, but they say casually
creepy things.
cruel
Yeah.
things now.
So that
and
was
then.
that was the idea, and it sort of didn't quite become. It kind of became its own thing. But that was the
Yeah.
original idea. It was like kind of super deadpan in
And I
its
think we did
delivery.
kind of just post it like without explanation. We didn't know if we were going to make more episodes.
Yeah, exactly.
So
We
it was
just-
supposed to be kind of mysterious.
That was fun. But oh, someone over here, yeah. I see a guy with the hand, yeah.
How did you stop off in video making?
Oh, I don't know. We both took video production in high school, and I made little videos, and then we made like a longer YouTube project. I don't know. I mean, just one of those things. Like I love film. I went to UC Santa Cruz and got a degree in film. So that was like, film is my passion, I guess. And this is very editing intensive, and I've learned a lot about editing. And I mean, I think we're both just, we were on the improv team at our high school, and et cetera, et cetera. So I mean, it's just that's just our nature, I guess. I don't know.
We like to make stuff.
We like to make stuff, yeah, exactly. This guy here, yes. Hi.
I think one of the things that really makes the show special, Witchcraft, that
Yeah.
is you have a very signature sense of humor. It's like self-aware and dark and
Sure,
like,
yeah.
kind of like
Thank you.
What's like stupid lots of things they just like the spiders can dream thing.
Yeah, right.
Is there any like things that you think have influenced you, comedians or shows?
Arrested Development's always the big one.
Arrested Development
That
is
one's
big in our
big.
list. I mean, that's all about wordplay and callbacks and stuff. So that's one half of
I
it.
love Ricky Gervais too. I love that he's really self-deprecating. All of his
Yeah.
humor, like I love extras and stuff like that.
But I do think that there's a certain like Adult Swim vibe to it too. Something
Yeah.
like, and I mean, it's weird because I don't think I saw one show and was like, oh, I really like that. Let me try to like emulate it. But I do think, in hindsight, like I do think I like. I'm trying to think of a good
There's
example.
C-Lab 2021, which is very
C-Lab
similar.
2021
Space
is
Ghost Coast to
great.
Coast was also a really similar show.
I love a show called Sheep in the Big City. That was a great show. That has lots of puns in it. And yeah, I mean,
I guess Courage the Cowardly Dog too, which is another one of my favorites. It's kind of like dark
Right.
and weird and funny.
and I mean, I think I don't know if I love like 30 Rock is a great show, and I think 30 Rock has a similar. I know it's not dark, but it's the way people talk, where they sort of say a line and they don't say it in a way that implies it's a joke. It's something extremely funny, but they say it so casually. It's just like, I really like that style of humor. Yeah.
Opalescence?
Someone with the...
Huh? Thank you. The Tommy Wiseau voice.
Yeah.
Like, oh, hi, Twilight Sparkle. She's just, there's a lot wrong with Luna. Yeah. She's like Bulgarian. That's the canon
She's
nationality.
Bulgarian. She's Bulgarian.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. Oh, suddenly there's no questions. Guy in the blue Wonderbolts thing. Yeah.
What's your favorite piece of Friendship is Witchcraft fan-created?
Fan-created content? There's some amazing fan art out there. I mean, one of my favorites still is a picture of Spike holding a lightning rod, standing on top of Twilight's house. Like that also, a lot of my most fond memories are from when we were first started doing it, because it was like so interesting and exciting. Like now, I mean, it sounds weird, but it's like nowadays, when I go on Derpy Buru and I see the Friendship is Witchcraft tag and I see all the art, it's like, oh, this is great. But it's almost like there's a lot of it, and some of it's varying qualities, and like I'm almost becoming judgmental. I'm like, this piece of fan art is better than this piece of fan art, which sounds so cruel. But at the time, it was like, oh my God,
like any fan
someone drew fan art of our thing, and it was like, so I have lots of lots of fond memories.
There's one that's like very painterly. It's like humanized Pinky Gypsy. She's like sitting on like a tapestry rug and just like weaving and like playing a lute, and it looks like it's just like Renaissance art. And that's probably like one of my favorites because it's so strange.
Good.
I wish I could remember who did it.
But yeah,
and also the secret shipfic folder. That's like I like that one a lot.
That's way high up on the list, definitely. Pinkie Pie.
Sorry, I'm asking so many questions.
It's fine.
That's cool.
I love this show.
So.
Are you ever planning to bring Luna back?
Yeah, we'd love to. But
In a way, I mean,
if she has more episodes.
that's the thing. It's
and
like,
she has the Scootaloo
how
one.
how many episodes does Luna appear in? Probably like 5?
The Scootaloo one.
Oh, she appears in the
She's
Scootaloo one.
pretty prominent in that one. Or yeah, it's Sweetie Belle. Oh, she was in both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we like the characters, but we don't necessarily think about wanting to bring them back. It's really just like which episode.
Like which episode feels natural, and then
if
hopefully
Luna,
characters that don't get a lot of time might be in them.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yes, you.
Okay, I think this is kind of interesting. What if you also dubbed any of the fan animated projects? Like what?
Well, we did.
We did. We had this idea.
We did
yeah.
Snowdrop.
We did Snowdrop.
Actually, I didn't know that.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
there you go.
We did
did
Snowdrop. Go
so
check it out.
There you go. That was one of the things we said. Oh, it'd be fun to do a fan animated thing. So
Yeah.
Someone had a question back there somewhere. Yeah, both of you. Let's
Both
go
Rainbow Dash Years people. One
in the front first. Yeah. Whoever is raising their hand. I don't know.
Who's the character that you guys like to voice the most?
Well, it's usually Apple Bloom. I think her voice is fun to do just because I think it sounds really different. Like it's both high-pitched and a country accent, which is fun. I used to love doing Rarity because I think Rarity is more of like an attitude than a voice, which is fun. But Twilight, despite being like really simple and pretty much just my voice but a little bit higher, I just love her as a character. I think she's really funny. She can sound really like bombastic and angry, which I like. So probably Twilight. She's definitely my favorite character, like to write and just in general.
And I don't voice my characters, but I'd say Silver Spoon is my favorite character voice because like it's one of the few voices I can do, and it sounds funny to me. So anyway, second question. Yes.
Yeah, so you depicted a lot of ponies and shapeshifters sometimes. Have you decided, or have you thought of also doing your fiction of Discord?
Yes, we have.
Yes.
We alluded that Discord is going to break out of his stone prison and be some aspect of the Friendship is Witchcraft universe, but of course he's not going to be like the Discord in the show. There's going to be some twist.
But he will be voiced by John Delancey. No, I'm kidding. Don't get excited. It's just a very different character, but for some reason we got the real
good old
voice.
John on the phone.
We were just talking to him the other day, and he's like, I've been waiting to work with you guys. I've been wanting to find a project.
And what we did was we recorded that phone conversation. We got all the syllables, and we are now making him
have our
talk.
John soundboard.
We have a John soundboard.
He'll have to say Ever Free Northwest
we should
a
just
lot,
do
which
that.
will be weird. Just pull audio from
do
panels.
it. We said panels or Q lines, all
childhood.
Q lines, just reappropriated in these places. We just had an idea right there on the
There
fly.
you go.
See,
that'll probably happen. You'll
that's
probably
the writing
see that
process.
And be like, they didn't get any better ideas after that one.
Do you have a few voices for us here?
Okay.
Probably.
Which ones?
Any line? If people want to request a line, that's always fun to do.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
People, yes. Rainbow Dash suit.
What do you do with the Princess Celestia?
That would probably be you.
Oh, that's me, yes. In Princess Celestia, it was really silly when it started because like the reason I do Princess Celestia is for no other reason than the fact that we had no one else to do the voice. So it was literally like Jenny did all the voices. It was like, who's gonna do Princess Celestia? And we're like thinking about it. It's just like, well, let's just have you do the voice, even though. So it's like Twilight Sparkle, my most favorite student. It's like really, honestly, a stupid voice. It's just my voice is weirdly. I don't even know what you'd call it. Almost scary falsetto or something like that. Scary whisper man. I don't know. Yeah, I guess we'll just keep doing more voices. Yes?
Penny, since I put you in chokeholds, can you do your Fluttershy?
Oh, what do you want me to say as Fluttershy?
That was what she said. There you go. You don't actually get to request a line now.
Yeah, now you don't get to.
That was fun.
No.
We could do this for hours or
Yeah.
or minutes or seconds. Yes.
Oh, I think I can do that. Twilight.
Twilight there, yes.
Okay, probably her catchphrase, essentially.
Buy some apples. I'm gonna get my cutie mark.
A guy in the back, yeah. It's funny actually, like the way I talk when I do Sweetie Bot is I really just go like rarity, like that is just how I talk. And then when I apply the filter, it sounds. But yeah, pretty much that's how I do the voice. Is I talk like a robot. But I can't do it right now, not without the filter. Yes.
Can you do Twilight?
Who's that pretty lady?
Yes. What line? Silver spoon. Oh, cheese. Cake?
Oh, you ate all my Easy Max, that one.
All right.
Then you resealed the packaging.
That was fun, yeah. Can you imagine opening your cupboard? You've got like
You're like,
Easy
oh, sweet,
Mac.
they're all here.
Easy Mac, you open it, it's just gone. And it was
And you
resealed.
look, it's been glued back
Silver
together.
spoon. I just love Diamond Tiara. Hey, Diamond Tiara, you all eat all my Easy Mac. It's just a really stupid voice. And Diamond Tiara is also really hard to do, and I don't like doing it because I have to yell to do it. Someone over here?
Okay, what should I say?
Talk about eye candy.
Yes.
Wait, are you Bonko the Clown? Do you do that voice?
No,
We
that
don't
was
do Bonko
Win,
the
right?
Clown. Yeah, that was.
That's
That's so
Win.
funny.
It
You know
was
the guy.
Twinkle.
You know the guy who does the voice of Twinkle in the Snowblind episode. He is the guy who drew the troll face. I don't know if anyone knows that. Yeah, his name is Win, and we found him on DeviantArt, and he wanted to be a voice actor, and we were like, okay. you drew the troll face.
What was the name of Bonko the Clown, though? What was his name? That's going to drive me crazy.
Oh gosh, I can't
know.
remember. I thought it was Win.
On our website. No, well, I had heard him in chats. It wasn't Win, you're thinking
no.
Edwin, because that's who the voice
Oh.
sounds like. No, we found him through, I believe through Eileen Monty. He's one of her VA buddies.
I think so.
And I'd been in like a group call with all of them, and he'd been doing like his King Candy impression. So then when we had the
Right.
clown character, I just
Right.
contacted her and I was like, remind me who your friend was that sounds like Edwin, and we'll use him.
We'll use him.
You can
That's
just
fun.
do that voice. It's perfect.
Spike?
Spike.
Oh, Spike. This is.
We're Twilight. I don't want to wait outside in the rain. That's what he always says all the time. That's
yes.
Spike.
Praise Lord Smooth. Yay.
The guy at the camera, yeah.
Can you sing a chorus for It'll Be Okay as Rainbow Dash?
I don't know if I can.
I'd say that's a no.
Probably not. I would have to imagine how that would go. And it would probably be pretty similar to Twilight, because Rainbow Dash and Twilight are the same, but Rainbow Dash is very scratchy.
Yeah.
So, and that's hard to do in singing. so probably not.
There's a guy here. I'm not sure if you can do it.
You just tried to nail the rain dash bow, dash rain dash bow.
Okay, let me try to remember the line. I know it's like, oh, it's 2 words, but I'm like, how does it go?
I was always looking for rainbow ways to dash. And then rainbow. Dash, rainbow, dash, rainbow, rain dash, rain dash, dash.
Yay!
So I see another hand. We got a lot of the same hands coming up. You guys are inquisitive.
What is it?
Wait, which character? Cheerily?
Cheerily. Oh, that's my friend Bailey, and
Yeah,
she's not here.
She's not here.
She's gonna be really mad that someone did a request and she wasn't here.
She's gonna literally
I'm gonna
be like,
tell her
I
after
can't
the
believe,
panel.
I
I'm
can't
gonna
believe
text
this.
her.
Yeah, so there's
She's celebrating. It's
voices.
It's Passover right now. That's why she's not here.
Voices we don't do are Scootaloo. That's I forget.
Scootaloo is Rihanna Bergquist.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's Jan Bergquist now, since
Oh.
she's now a he.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I didn't
Yes.
realize that.
Since I've been having to credit him in my own stuff.
Oh,
okay, right.
Okay. Yes.
I was not
we
aware,
have
but yes.
a person doing Scootaloo. We have someone doing Cheerly for us, and roles like Bonko the Clown.
Bonko the Clown,
but
little
most
cameos.
Of it,
Sunset Shimmer, of course, was Kira Buckland, Rena Chan.
Rena
I
Chan.
think she's in the Voice Equestry panel. We were like, if you're free, you should just come be on the panel.
This guy with the camera.
She's busy, I think.
The Rode microphone.
This is less of a question, more just a funny story.
Okay.
I was on YouTube one day looking up tech reviews, and I saw this one guy who had this Rainbow Dash figure in the background, and I was like, huh, is he a brony? And I look at his channel, and I see he did a room tour, and he mentions the Rainbow Dash doll, and he said, oh, I'm not a brony, but Rainbow Dash Dash Rainbow Dash, and he links your video.
That's really weird.
That video was the reason why he bought the doll.
That's odd that he saw only Friendship is Witchcraft and nothing else. And then was like, I'll buy the doll of that. It's extremely weird.
One last question?
Oh, no. That's the hand I saw first.
This is the hand. You're going to be the last.
Oh, yeah. What should I say?
She's so miserable.
She's like, just all the time. Like, you like me, Bonko? If I could see. Oh, God. Well, we've been told strictly that we're PG, right, when we came in.
We're PG in this room. I think we have time for one last question, so let's make it one last question and not a voice request, unless someone really thinks they have the funniest voice request of all time, in which case, well, your hand goes up. So
I don't maybe remember 2 years ago in Fiesta Equestria, there was someone that said that they were your boys.
Ellie Mint.
Ellie Mint, yes.
What's your opinion on all that controversy? Do you feel honored that she tried to beat you, or do you feel more offended?
I am honored. I also am just angry that someone would lie about that on the principle of it. But I am like confused and flattered that it was me that she picked. So that's cool. I'm not like, we're bros. I'm still like, if I met her, I'd be like, oh, she's awful. But like, that is cool that it was me. That's great.
Yeah, that girl, I will say, she is probably
she's like a pathological
liar.
We were sent recordings of her talking about how she and I used to be best friends in Canada, which is a place I've never been to. And that we're like sisters growing up, and she agreed to do the voices for me because I was shy.
And she said she was engaged to one of the people at Rooster Teeth.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, so she's a pathological liar.
She just
straight up. So in a way, it's like we're not flattered or offended. It's like she's just a liar and she chose us, which is just kind of like, okay.
I mean, it's cool that she chose Friendship is Witchcraft because that means she thought it had clout.
That's
which is
okay.
Good.
Yeah.
So apparently, though, we would
strange.
have been at that con if she hadn't told them that she was us and that we couldn't make it. So she like pretended to go on her phone and said, yeah, Griffin says he can't make it. And they were like, okay. And then the con just proceeded with her.
It's so good. I think the story is worth it. It's so fun. It's
a good story. It's probably all if you just Google it. Like my Tumblr at the time was just recapping it. You can find the audio clip of her saying weird things, and it's all good. It's a good time.
I think we're getting the message to end the panel.
I think they're
now.
like, they're like, stop.
Okay.
Stop
In that case,
thank you, everyone.
Thank you everyone for
coming.
Thank you for
coming. Yeah. Yay. Awesome.